Hi everyone, my name is Dananja Taylor. Thank you for clicking on this video. So we're going to be making the corset that was on the thumbnail, okay? This is how it's going to look when we're done drafting. So just follow me and let me guide you through, alright? So I just took my shoulder line. I came down by half of an inch. And now I am taking my bust point measurement, which is at 11 inches. For me, should you just impute yours, okay? And then I will just label it, okay, as my shoulder line. And I'm just going to go ahead and take my waist measurement, my shoulder to waist measurement. My shoulder to waist measurement, and it's at 17 inches. So I just mark it there and measure it somewhere else, and then draw a straight line over it, okay? That's as simple as that. Please, if you're a beginner, just follow me, okay? What I'm doing right now, I have a video where it is slowed down and you can understand. In case you don't know how to draft your basic bodice, I just decided to go ahead and draft it, okay, for this particular video. But I'm going to drop a separate video on how to do this, all right? So just come down to get my hip measurement at 27 inches, which is what I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to roll a straight line over that. All right, okay, and I'm just going to label it as hip line. Having done that, I will just come down and measure my neckline. So I'm using 3x3, very quick. 3x3. Okay, I'm going to use my curve ruler to just bring out that round neckline shape so that beginners can understand. This is totally unnecessary, okay? It's very unnecessary. So I'm going to impute my shoulder measurements. Mine is 8 inches. And then immediately come down by 0.75 inches, okay? And then draw a straight line. That's my shoulder slope. Okay, so what I do to get my chest line is that I start from the top, that line that I started from, and I just measure 8.5 inches from there. It works perfectly for me. If you're on the smaller size, you can use like 8 inches of the dot. If you're a little bit busty, you can use 9, okay? So I just drew a straight line down. Right here, I'm marking the 8.5 so that the line of my shoulder line can be straight, that chest line can be straight, because I'm going to use it later. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is to get the midpoint of this my armhole line, okay? Then I come inside by half of an inch. All right, I'm going to connect that with my curve ruler to make a very beautiful curve. Before I curve it, I'm going to measure out my bust measurements, okay? I'm going to measure out my bust measurements and then just curve it to that point, okay? So that's basically it. Next thing I'm going to do right now is to just mark my bust span, my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Mine is 8, divided by 2 is 4. I usually add a half inch for sewing allowance, okay? So that is 4.5 inches. I mark it all the way from the bust point down to the hip line, okay? All right, then just take half inch on both sides. This is when you want to draft your basic bodice, okay? Basic bodice. So this is like a 2-in-1 video. You draft your basic bodice. So just take the half inches down to the waistline, okay, and then connect it. You come down by 5 inches from the waistline. Just measure 5, and then you connect it like the way I'm going to do right now, okay? And this will just give you your dart, okay? Basic bodice is almost formed completely. You know, we'll first draft our basic bodice before we now make alterations to it. Okay, I'm going to just impute my body measurement. My bust measurement, as I told you guys earlier, is 10, that's 40, okay? So I mark 10. And my waist measurement is 33, I think, divided by 4. And mark it, and then you now replace Okay, here I'm dividing it by 4, okay? And I think I have 8.25. Okay, and then just measure it, and then I will replace. Yeah, I think I did that. I replaced the dart that I took away from there. I just put it back, and of course I put in my hip measurements. You just go and do the same thing. It's not that hard, okay? Next thing I'm going to do right now is to connect all the lines together to give that, shape that it's supposed to give. So this is how my own body shape is. So people's own will be really snatched at the waist. Don't just draw what your body shape or the body shape of your client is, okay? So right here I'm taking 1/4 of an inch on both sides. So right here what I'm doing is I'm now making the alterations for our corset, okay? I came out from that 1/2 inch by 1/4 of an inch, and I am coming down here by 14 inches, okay? That 14 inches now is my under bust measurement. As you can see, it's not necessary in your basic bodice, but because we're going to make something cupped, I'm coming down. So that's the alteration, okay? And the same 1/4 of an inch that I came out from there, making everything like 1.5 inch, I'm going to do the exact same thing. It will amount to 0.75 on both sides. So both the underbust darts and the waistline darts are exactly alike, okay? The measurements are the same. So right now I'm going to use my curve to connect that new dart into my bust point line on both sides, okay? I really hope we understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that from that straight dart line to the both sides, everything should amount to 1.5 inches, okay? So 0.75 on both sides. I'm going to now come out now on both sides the 0.75 so that I can just mark straight down. So this is the alteration that I said that we were going to do, okay? So that's it, 0.75 on both sides. So everything now amounts to 1.5 inches, okay? Now, the next thing that we're going to do right now is to just go into that shoulder slope and divide it by 2. From there, I'm going to draw a straight line that is going to connect that dart line at the bust point, which is what I'm doing right now. So drawing the straight line down. Now, let's not forget our chest line. I told you we're going to extend it. Did I tell you? Okay, we're extending that line, okay, into the center front. I'm going to now label it as our chest line. Now, from that point, I'm going to come out from there by like 1/4 of an inch on both sides, and I'm going to connect that to our bust point, okay, as another dart for like overbust tightening. Okay, this will make it not to be loose. It will just grip on that chest line, okay, because if you just leave it there without removing that dart, it will be kind of loose and ill-fitting. So we'll just connect that line straight to the shoulder point, okay? We just connect it. This shoulder part, this yoke part that's just before the chest line is really not needed in this tutorial. You see what I'm talking about, but let's just use it for the pattern illustration, okay? Now, I just measured that dart at the shoulder line. I measured up to 1.5 inch. That's 0.75 on both sides. Okay, now I'm going to replace my dart at the bust area, okay? Just mark it out, measure, mark out, and replace. All right? Yes, measure, mark out, and replace. So I replaced mine outside, and I also replaced, I had already replaced from the original dart. I just marked out the 1/4 of an inch on both sides, and I marked it out. That's 1/2 inch. I also marked out from the overbust tightening, and I replaced all of that. What I'm going to do now is to connect everything, all the lines together. Okay, I'm going to just draw a line, and it will become my new body measurement. I'll just connect it to that the hem of the corset top that we're going to be making. Okay, all right. So another thing that we're going to do right now is to get our chest measurements, because we're not going to be using that top part that has the original neckline. Okay, so we're going to create a new neckline here. That's what I wanted to say. We're going to create a new neckline, okay, at that point. And my own new neckline is going to start from 6 inches, as you have already seen there. I'm just going to blend it into the chest line, make a very beautiful rounded edge. And if you saw the picture of what we said we were going to make, it's going to have like a sharp point, which is what I just made over there. Okay, and right now I wanted to cut, but then I realized that I had not made the bust dart. Now, how are you going to get the bust dart? This is very important. The back, the waist, your shoulder to waist and the back is not the same as the shoulder to waist and the front. So when you get the two measurements separately, then the difference between the two of them is your bust dart. For me, mine is 2 inches. So I marked 2 inches down and connected that line as a dart line, which you can see there. I've labeled it as dart line. Okay, I'm going to close up this shoulder dart. I'm going to close it up, okay, so that our overbust can also be looking like the way it's supposed to look, so I can replace what I have taken out from there. Okay, so I'm going to just use my paper tape right now to hold it down. If you have any questions, just kindly just leave it for me, okay, in the comments. Leave it for me there. I would reply to every single question that you have. Right now, what I want to do here is to blend it, to give us that pointy part that we see on the picture of what I already said that we wanted to make. Okay, so I'm just going to blend it into the new armhole extension that we have. Okay, so I'm using my curve ruler right now. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just take my pen right now, and any moment from now, and blend it. Okay, I've done that. Okay, now you see we have that look, we have that pointy part. Okay, that is so beautiful. Just blend it seamlessly into the armhole, and that's that for that. Okay, I feel like we've actually done everything we're supposed to do here, so I feel like it's remaining to cut it up. So we're going to cut out that top part so that it will not confuse us. We cut it out and discard. So we know that we're working with the new neckline. Okay, that new neckline is what we're working with. So what is remaining now is just for me to draft or to draw and shape our corset. Okay, I wanted to have that basque. For now, I don't know, I may change my mind in the sewing video, but for now I wanted to have like a basque waist. Okay, which is what I did. I came up by 2 inches, 2.5 inches. I can't really make that out, and I went in from the center front by 1/2 inch. Okay, so I just connected those lines together, and right now I'm showing you where to cut out all those places that I've drawn straight lines on. You're supposed to discard those. Okay, right now I'm cutting out the darts. Okay, I'm going to cut out the darts. please be very careful, because any mistake that you make right now may just transfer it like that into your final product, into your your fabric when you want to cut. So you have to be careful, okay? So I'm just removing the dart over here. I'm removing the dart. All right. So right now I'm going to cut out that part, okay? But I'm going to extend it because I really wanted to have that hourglass, that, that fish out. I don't know how to explain it. So plus this will also replace the dart in that hip area, because as you can see, we didn't do that, okay? So just do that, okay? Okay, so we're going to replace that and cut. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is to just remove the dart from there, and then I'm going to just remove the bust dart. Okay, then when I remove that bust dart, I'm going to use my paper tape to close it up. After I close it up, if you when I close it up, you can see that it's not aligning at the sides again. The line is there's I need to make it align. I need to attach an extra paper and draw it so that everything that we've lost when I remove this dart, now we can replace it back. Just watch me. You will understand what I'm doing, okay? Too much talk sometimes is not good. Just observe what I'm doing. So I'm placing the paper tape like I said that I would. All right. And right now I'm going to attach an extra paper, okay? An extra paper so that I can be able to connect it down to the waistline, okay? So I can replace everything that we lost in the process of cutting, okay? That's what I'm doing right now. So kindly do that to your pattern too. Everything will come together. When I'm done, you see how nice it looks. It actually look like someone's shape, okay? So this is what we have. I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the dart, okay? So cut off the dart, please. If you've watched up to this point, you know what to do. Kindly like, comment, okay? Subscribe to my channel. I promise to give you clear videos from now on. I noticed that it's like this, my camera is quite far. Okay, I'll do better next time. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw a straight line. There's no measurements needed. You don't really need to measure anything to draw the straight line. Then I'm going to take 1/4 inch on both sides and connect from top to bottom. I'll start connect top, connect the other side, okay, and then I connect the bottom also. Now, having done that, I just cut all through. Okay, I just love saying cut. Okay, so I'm going to cut it all through to the top area. I'm doing just that now. So like I was saying, please subscribe to my channel. I'm new here, okay? It's not easy creating these videos and trying to do the voiceover later. Just help a sister out, okay? So after I've cut that, I'll just place it for you to see what I've done, okay? And that's that for the front part. Okay, I forgot to remove the dart, so I'll just remove it, okay? So that's that for that. This is the front part. The back part is not going to be that hard. Now, this is for the back part, okay? I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did initially. I'm going to draft my back button. So from here, I'm taking 1/2 inch, like I did initially. I'm taking 1/2 inch, so that will be my 30 line or my shoulder line, okay? Then I'm going to measure my bust point, not bust point, sorry. I'm going to measure my chest line, okay, where my armhole is supposed to end. So that's 8.5 inches, which is what I did. I'm just going to mark my waistline. So I told you that your waistline at the back is quite different from the one at the front. So for me, my waistline at the back is 15 inches, while at the front I think it's 17, difference of 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and run a straight line through. I couldn't find my straight ruler. I think my baby has thrown it away or something. I don't know. Anyways, so just forgive me for using this particular ruler, okay? But it's still giving me straight line, so I mean, it's a win-win. All right, so I'm going to just take my hip measurement, okay, at 0.27 inches, which is what I'm going to mark over there, okay? So I'll mark that and just run a straight line over it. So at this point, we now have our shoulder line, our chest line, waistline, and hip line. So there's no bust line at the back because it's the back. There's no bust at the back. But if you want a more detailed tutorial, of basic bodice pattern, just tell me. I'm going to drop it, okay? All right. So having done this, I'll just mark my shoulder measurements. So it's your shoulder measurement divided by 2, and you can add half inch. So I'm just constructing the neckline. Don't mind me. I used front neckline for the back. That's so funny. Don't do that. Anyways, that neckline is not necessary, okay? When I'm going to do basic bodice pattern, I'll show you how to construct your back neckline, okay? Your basic back neckline. So I'm going to just come down here by 0.75 inches at that shoulder line, and I'm going to just draw a straight line and connect it down to the chest line, which will make it our armhole line, okay? Yes. So of course I'm going to, just exactly as I did the first one, I'm going to divide it over 2, okay? Just fold my tape and divide it over 2 and mark, then come in there by half of an inch, okay? It works all the time. Okay, so I'm going to draw a very nice curve. So I just had to speed it up, okay? Speed it up a bit because all of this is just what we've already done before, okay? So I'll just let it play out. So here I'm drawing a curve. I'll put my bust measurements, okay, like I said before, at 10 inches, and then I'll mark it. Then I'll go ahead and label the lines. I'm labeling waistline, hip line, chest line, so that we can't be confused. Then here I'll take my bust band measurements, 4.5 inches minus 4.5, okay? That is 8 divided by 2 plus half, all right? And then draw a straight line down to connect all of them from the chest line down to my hip line, okay? Now I'm just going to go ahead and measure here so my lines can be straight, as I can't find my straight ruler, okay, which would have been long enough to just do from top to bottom. But as I can't find it now, I'll just go ahead and use this one, okay? So this is me just drawing a straight line through. I'm going to take half inch on both sides. All right, I wanted to take 1, then I connected it and I saw that it's not 1. I made a mistake over there, so just don't do what I'm doing now. I'm going to cancel that. Look at me pausing to think. I'm like, what am I doing? So sorry, please. Half of an inch, okay? Take half on both sides. So this is me retaking it. So, we all make mistakes. I'm taking it 1/2 inch, okay? And then take your own half on the other side. And then when you do that, you now come down on that waistline, come down by 5 inches. Come down by 5 inches. And then you take your dart to that 5-inch mark, okay? That's what I'm doing right here. I'm coming down by 5 inches. I'm marking it on the dart line, okay? And then I'm going to connect the dart leg to it, and do it on the other side. So this is my dart for the back part, okay? Of course, there's no zipper allowance here because it's corset and it's going to be loops. We're trying to make our waist snatched, so there's no need for zipper allowance, okay? Now, the next thing that I'm going to do right here is to take my body measurements, all right? So I'm going to take my body measurements. So I'm going to take my waist measurements, divided by 4. Mine is 8.25. Then I'm going to add back my dart. That's 1, so it's 9.25. Then I come down to my hip. My hip is 44 inches divided by 4. That's 11 inches. So I'm just going to mark 11 right there. And then I'm going to connect all my body measurements, okay? All right, so go ahead and do the same to yours. That's pretty much it. Back is really easy to draft. I love drafting back because the front, you have to do a lot of things. But back is just back, okay? After I've done that, now the next thing that I'm going to do is to come out from that dart head. Come out from that head by 0.25. That's 1/4 of an inch on both sides, and I just connect it. I connect it down to the main dart, okay? I don't measure anything at that waistline. I just connect 0.25 from that up to the waistline, okay? And then I come, now what I'm doing here is, it's a mistake, okay? It's a mistake. Instead of you to measure at this 5-inch from the waist, you measure at the hemline, okay? Measure at the hemline, draw the 0.25 at the hemline, then you connect it to the waist area, okay? So what I did right here, just extend the lines down to the hemline. I really hope you understand, okay? Right now I'm taking the front part, which I cut earlier, the side, and just connect it at the waistline to the back and just draw it out, okay? And make it, trace it so I'm sure that they both align at the side, okay? That's what you do, and you see everything will just come out seamlessly for you, okay? Trust me. So that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm just going to use my ruler, my curve ruler, to just smoothing it out, okay? I'm going to trace even the hemline of the front so that everything can just be seamless, all right? So that's what I'm going to do right now. I don't know why I'm wasting time, but I'm going to do it. Thank you. Okay, I'm doing it now. Okay, so I'm just checking if my camera is okay. And my baby is crying somewhere. Oh, okay. So I'm going to just connect that. Nice. And yeah. And then, like I said, I'm going to connect the hemline, which is what I'm doing right now. I really hope we have followed and understood up to this point. All right, so I'll just draw it out, and I'm going to connect. Yes, just like that. There's no serere, okay, for the back. No serere. I'm just going to do it like that. And the next thing I'm going to do is to measure. I actually measured the back, and I just measured it. Okay. And I just measured the half, like it was 4 inches, so I measured 2, half of 4, 2. I just drew a straight line down. You may or may not decide to measure yours. That is totally up to you. You use your discretion. going to extend that line from top to bottom, then I'll come out by 1/4 inch on both sides. Okay, so I just mark my 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to connect the dart legs down, up, top and bottom, and that's pretty much it, guys. If you're still here and you're still following this video, please subscribe to my channel. I need you, and I promise that you're going to be having clearer videos. Okay, just please subscribe, like, comment, ask your questions. Okay, ask me anything, I would answer. Okay, to the best of my capabilities, to the best of my knowledge. Okay, it's quite difficult to do these videos and it's stressful. Okay, but I will do it. Okay, because the truth is that we have to impact the world with our knowledge, which is my primary objective. I want to see if people really understand me when I speak about things like this. Okay, so please, anything that you don't like, if you think that the things I could do better, just drop your constructive criticism on the comment section. Okay, and I will definitely reply, and I'll definitely work towards it. All right, so what I'm doing right now is to draw straight lines round. I'm just trying to show you where you're going to discard. Okay, discard all of the spots that we're going to be. I'm drawing those diagonal lines on. Now, right now, I'm going to draw the neckline for the back part. Okay, there is no big deal in this one. Just connect. Use your cover ruler. Just connect. All right, and it will work out. So I'm showing you this is the part that is needed. I'm going to cut. All right. Cut. So, like I said, like I said when I was cutting out the front part, I said I'm not sure if this is the shape that I wanted for it, but for this illustration, I'm going to just leave it as a basque waistline. So I'm going to go ahead and label it. So I label that part side front SF2, and then SF1, and then center front as CF, and then because we didn't add any allowances on this pattern, I'm just going to write that you should add your allowance. Okay, I hope you can see it now. Add 1/2 inch on the center back side. Okay, then on the parts of the dart, just add 1/2 inch all around. Then on the side back too, the one that is really on the side, that's way on the side, you just add extra 2 inches allowance. Don't worry, just add your allowance. I usually add 2 inches, especially to that down part, because I want it to really come out and, fish out and give me that hourglass. Okay, so this is me cutting. I really hope you can see that thing that I told you about the dart, not just stop at the 5 inch. Okay, I extended it down. Okay, I hope you can see that I extended it to the end, to like the hemline, and then I'm going to just cut out the dart. So cut cut out the dart, and baby, we have our back pattern. I'm so happy that I was able to do that. My friend was just pointing out that my son is somewhere. I just needed to cut this first so that I could go grab him. Oh, boy's a handful. Okay, so this is the back part. Okay, I know you can hear from my voice that I am so tired at this point. I've been working and then doing house chores and then combining videos to it. I'm just tracing out, adding my allowances at this point. adding allowance. Okay, so if you want to see how I cut this fabric and actually made it, that will be in the part 2. Okay, so I'm just giving you a sneak peek. So just like comment, say you want part 2 and I would drop it. Okay, ask me your questions. I'm here for you. There is nothing that you ask me to the best of my ability that I will not answer you. It's not possible. I would answer. Okay, so please, I really want to hear your comments. I really want to know what you want me to drop. Okay, if you have a tutorial of anything that you say you want me to drop it, I will drop it. Okay, I promise you that I can guarantee. Okay, thank you very much for clicking on this video. If you've watched to this point, I'm grateful. God bless you. Thank you. And I'm signing out. Bye.